So Envie was just released like this week, and I put up a short on YouTube. It's been watched by a few people, but I showed it as a drying aid, which is how I like to use ceramic sealants. That way we avoid any sort of streaking. But many of you had questions as far as how does this compare to ceramic gloss? And is this superior than insert your favorite product? We had Griots, we had Adams. Well, I have to actually do a paint enhancement on this Ford Fusion. It is in kind of gnarly shape. It's really dirty. The paint is stained, pretty dull. I do think we have like some light oxidation going on. And time is of the essence. My kids have appointments and sports this evening. So we've already got the interior vacuumed. I'm in the middle of doing tires and wheels as we speak, and I need to finish washing the exterior, and then we're going to do a quick polish and then apply a sealant. And as I was cleaning the wheels, I'm like, you know what? I want to actually try Envie and use it like I would have in the past with ceramic gloss, where we can polish, we can wipe off our residue with our rinseless wash, and then spray our Envie onto the paint while we're drying it, skip having to do an extra step of applying our protection. And then I want to see what our hydrophobics look like after we do that, because I'm kind of curious if we want to, I don't want to say cheat, but if we want to speed up that process where I don't have to dry it and then take the time to apply it, which we're going to test that out as well. I want to see, do we have a difference in hydrophobics and durability if we apply it on a wet panel, which obviously we're going to. I need it to give me like 3 to 4 months. It doesn't need to be super durable. I even said 3 to 10 months. It's a huge variable. And that leaves a lot of questions in my mind as far as, can it last that long? But even if we want to apply it to a panel that maybe has some rinseless wash on it, use it as a drying aid, but to quickly apply protection, what kind of gloss are we going to have? What kind of hydrophobics are we going to have? So for those of you that might be curious like me, as a detailer where speed and efficiency are of the essence, we're going to wash this. We're going to do a quick paint enhancement with our DIY gold standard, our polishing pad, and then we're going to leave all of that residue on. We'll bring you guys back when we remove all of our polish residue and then apply our sealant kind of simultaneously to see, is this a way to kind of cheat and apply protection super fast after a polish job? So if you're curious, keep watching. Let's go ahead and get this vehicle clean. As a professional detailer, my job is to assess the condition of the vehicle and to make recommendations to the customer on how to get the best results with their vehicle. Kind of like when you go to the doctors and you have a physical and they say, well, you need to work out more so you can lose weight. This customer does need to wash their vehicle more to remove the film, the mud splatter, and maybe use less aggressive chemicals, because I can see that our paint doesn't look as glossy as it should. In fact, I can almost see some staining on the paint, whether it's from soap or from hard water spots that have accumulated. We also have a heavy buildup of film under our spoiler that if we don't remove, it will eventually etch and pit into the clear coat. So first off, we're going to use our BDE full strength to go after any of the bugs that are on our front grille as well as our side mirrors. Let that sit a second, blast it off with our high pressure so that way we don't have to scrub the paint. Then we're going to come in with Detail Co. Hard Wash. This is their higher pH soap, and we're going to do a foaming pre-soak. You want to let this sit as long as possible, and this is loosening and softening any of the dirt, road boogers, road film that's on the vehicle, so that way we can remove it chemically before we have to abrade it off with our contact wash. But this soap, it's thick. I had only added 1 to 2 ounces in my foam cannon, and it ain't going anywhere. I don't have all day. Here at my shop, a full detail takes anywhere from 4 to 5 hours from start to finish. I typically allot 2 hours for the exterior and about 2.5 hours for the interior. When we add a paint enhancement, it only adds about an hour to the job. And so it's actually a very affordable add-on service for me to offer customers, because one, I do not have to wash it a second time for them to reschedule and have a paint enhancement done where I have to rewash it all over again. I typically charge a customers $100 to $150 extra for me to do a paint enhancement on their vehicle. And it only takes me about an hour to be able to do this. So I can typically average about $100 to $150 an hour for me to do a paint enhancement. So it's a great value to the customer and a great add-on for me to offer the customer, but it does add a little bit of time to the process. So that's why I combine the wash and clay towel in one step. We don't rinse off our soap, and we can very quickly remove any sort of bonded contaminants on the paint and leave behind a smooth surface. But you can see we don't have a ton of gloss with this still. It's somewhat glossy, but it's still kind of dull and flat. I'm not seeing a very good reflection like I want to see. That's where our paint enhancement is going to dial things in. It'll be able to remove any sort of light oxidation, as well as chemical staining or mineral deposits on our paint. So with my paint enhancement process, I typically will have a pad washer at the ready. I normally use one pad to polish the entire vehicle. We figure out our test spot, and I did figure out that Gold Standard was perfect on this Ford Fusion paint. So we were able to do about 2 passes with every section with 1 spray of Gold Standard polish on our pad. And in between each section, we're washing our pad to keep it cool and to keep it clean. That's going to give us the optimum cut with this process. But we're not focusing on paint perfection. I can actually just take my time with this whole process and be able to do 2 passes in every section, leave all of that polish residue on, and then once we are done polishing the paint, then we'll come in with our rinseless wash, wipe off all of our residue, and then at the same time apply our sealant. This is quick, it's efficient, and it's profitable. So for those of you who are professional detailers that are wanting to get a little bit more profitability from your customers, even add more value, this is just a great quick service to add. Whoa. That is slick, and it makes drying it faster. I'm not gonna do my second towel, but we're just gonna do it. Holy slickness. Okay. Yeah. I think I found my new thing to do with the paint enhancement. So I like to use Korean plush microfibers with our rinseless wash, and I'm using a second Korean plush microfiber to work our sealant in. 1 spray of Envie to our towel, 1 spray of Envie to the panel, massage it in evenly, and then dry with your drying towel. You guys could feel how slick this paint feels. I think that's the big difference between ceramic gloss. Holy crap. Now, not all rinseless washes are created equal, but what I like to do is no more than 2 sections at a time. So that way our rinseless wash doesn't evaporate or dry up streaky on us. But do your rinseless wash and then spray your sealant, and then come in, and this is where we end up with crystal clear clarity. We didn't have any streaks with this. I didn't have to massage aggressively or deal with high spots. It just was so effortless. Holy crap. This paint. This is ridiculous how slick it is. Okay. Now I know that this is a product that is hot off the presses, and so I don't want to make any conclusive statements on durability. But what I can speak to as far as slickness, ease of application, gloss, and shine, I'm very, very impressed. Now, I am going to be doing more testing with this product. In fact, I have a test panel that we're going to be putting some of the most popular quick detailers on, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a torture test. We're going to test hydrophobics, chemical resistance, as far as durability. For those of you that want to know, how does Envie compete with some of the top quick detailers on the market, stay tuned to this channel. Make sure you subscribe. But when it comes to ease of application, this is everything that I'm looking for. Now I want to see what kind of durability can we get based on the different application methods they recommend. But from where we were at the beginning of our detail to where we are now with levels of gloss and shine, I think we were able to give the customer a fantastic end result in a very short period of time. It was about $350 from start to finish for me to do this exterior, and the customer was blown away when they saw the end result. But DIY Detail has made products that not only are they efficient, but they work extremely well to give you maximum profitability. So for those of you that are on the fence on how to offer value to your customer, as well as how to get quick results without spending a ton of time, check these products out. We got that done super fast from start to finish. It took an hour for us to polish, wipe off the residue, and apply our sealant. And I don't even know if you guys can understand. We had so much water spotting and staining on this paint. Our Gold Standard took it off with like 2 passes. Our rinseless wash was easily able to remove the residue, but I think what makes our Envie or Envie so amazing, one, it helps dry better. It honestly, it just made water easy to dry up. Streak free when we applied it like this, but the slickness on this paint is outstanding. It looks like I did a serious paint correction, and I just did a very quick gloss enhancement. It does not take much. DIY Detail has developed a system that I think is super efficient, and you can just see we've got fantastic results, but that couldn't have been easier, and we couldn't have gotten better results. So if you haven't tried any of these products out, we're gonna put the link to them down below. I wouldn't say that we did paint perfection, but for most daily drivers, this is all you need. And it doesn't require much, guys. 1 hour time. Just make sure you wash it, decontaminate it, quick passes with the Gold Waffle Pad, wipe off your residue, apply your Envie Ceramic Sealant. It doesn't get any better than that. Not only do we have slick paint, but our hydrophobics are nice and tight, water rolling right off the vehicle. I know this was just a glimpse at what we can do with Envie, and I'm excited to do more testing to see what kind of durability and hydrophobic performance you can expect with this product. But if you guys are just as curious as I am to see what all Envie can do, make sure you stay tuned. But if you have any questions, put your questions in the comment section and make sure you subscribe so that way you don't miss out on any of our future details. But we'll see you in the next detail.